What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of Lostorage Incited WIXOSS, a series that I just really got into as far as the world recently, and I'm so glad I did, as this series definitely has what I need as far as psychological, think Yu-Gi-Oh, but on some twisted Madoka magic and shit. And that's pretty much what you get with this series if you're not familiar with it. And of course, it's done by the incomparable JC staff, once again going in, giving us that darkness. And it also gave me the second opening that I finally said yes to when I heard, because right now Yuri on Ice is kind of killing it as far as opening of the season, as we're getting to the tail end of everything that's coming on. I think after tomorrow is like the last string of things that we have, and then that'll be it. We can decide what is opening of the season from there. So this series is already on a good start with that opening that we've seen. And again, the darkness is back. The card game is back. The magic of WIXOSS is back. And I cannot wait to get into this one. So this series will revolve around two friends, Suzu and Chanatsu. We have these two friends that grew up together. Well, not really grew up together. They were really good friends when they were little. And then they kind of got split apart because Suzu moved away. And this was like when she was in second grade. And now we fast forward a little bit and she's like a sophomore in high school. Anyway, these are two friends. They made a pact to always be friends together, and they even shared these two keychains that they gave each other. And that was way back in the day when they were growing up, and we can see the life that these two people lead. As Suzu, she stays with her father, and her father is always gone. He's like a businessman, and he's never around for it. He just like leaves her note saying, here's your lunch money. Here's what you need. I'll be home later. I can't come back. I'm working. She spends all the time cooking dinners and meals for him not to come back. And then on the other side, you have Chanatsu, who is basically, she's a student too. And she also works like at a fast food restaurant to help her parents make ends meet. And then she comes home from a hard day of work and school and still have to do homework. So you can see the parallels between these two characters. And you can kind of see that it's probably going to be at some point where it's going to be some type of, you know, moral or some type of want from one of the two characters to have the life that the other one doesn't have. Because when you're dealing with dark series like this, it's always that home life that triggers things. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with these two characters from two different worlds who haven't seen each other for a long time. Again, they last saw each other when they were like in second grade, and now they're in like 10th grade in high school. So of course, they didn't recognize each other when they first saw each other, as they don't formally meet yet, but they do see each other around and kind of have that, you know, kind of look like this person looks familiar. As Chiyasu, she still has a picture of the two when they were friends, and Suzu, she has been trying to keep in contact, like the two used to write letters to each other, but at some point, I'm gonna butcher her name so long until I get it right. Chanatsu moved, so every letter that Suzu was sending to her was getting sent back. She even tries to go to her house and find out where she lives and find out she's not there anymore. So it's almost building up to these two meeting again. That's going to be a big moment for this series. There was also a certain part of this episode that reminded me of the anime Orange, as Suzu, she already kind of looks like Naho with the hair color and kind of her naivete that she has. But you know, the people in the school are making fun of her, like, look at her, she comes from this hick town even though she has moved back. She's all dirty. Look at that little dirty thing she has. She must be like a little kid. I mean, she just get picks on it. It just reminds me of what Naho went through in Orange with Ueda. That's getting off topic. Back to the episode, but that was, you know, it just kind of just reminded me of that. But back to the episode itself, the two keychains, or the two little figures that the two girls exchanged when they were kids, they gave them names, and the names that they gave them was Riru and Meru. So Riru and Meru were the names that they gave each other for those little dolls. And they said they'll promise to always be friends. Of course, you could always promise to be friends, but things happen. People move away, and this is what you see. And because of that loneliness that Suzu is basically facing in this town, she notices that a lot of people are playing the game WIXOSS, and it's very popular. So she takes an interest in it, and she goes to deck herself, and she says, you know what, if I learn how to play this game, maybe I can play with some other people. Maybe I can meet some friends, and I can meet some like-minded people like myself. So she gets into it just as a hobby and as an escape in order to get away from the life that already seems to be pretty bad for her. And this is where things start to pick up, because as she's going through the cards, she's learning how to play, reading through the rule book, her card comes alive, and this is the Lyrig. We know what the Lyrigs are from this series, and basically tells her that you have been selected to be a selector. So this is where things really get fun. So Larig asks Suzu to give her a name, and she also peeks into her memories and she can see everything that she's been through, as she says that she is basically the manifestation of her memories. And because of that, she decided to name the Larig Riru. So Riru, just after a little doll that her friend had. So that was a good homage to that. And we can also see that Chinasu gets a rig at the end of the episode as well. But what's very interesting here is that the game of Recross has really changed this time, as the rules are very different than they were before. First and foremost, as Riru is breaking down the rules to her, she says that you have 5 coins, and each one of those coins are basically your memories. And when you have a battle this time, whenever you lose, one of the coins turn from gold to black. And when all 5 of them turn black, you lose your memories, and you're pretty much erased from existence. However, if you win the game overall, then you just get to leave. So it hasn't be so much more than that. It's definitely something they're not expanding upon. But there's also something else that makes this more dire, as you have a certain time limit. You only have like 24 hours before all of your coins go away. So you can definitely see that there's going to be some desperation from the other selectors that's going around that's trying to play this game, because we don't know what type of sick and twisted game this is or what type of game we're getting into. Also interesting is this time is that we also have male and female players this time. In the last 2 series, or basically the last series, it was just girls, but this time we have guys and girls playing the game, so that's going to be interesting too. Riru tells Suzu that she also cannot deny to play the game. She has to play the game again. It has that time limit on her coins, because if she just sits there and does nothing, then she's just going to phase from resistance. So that's when you start to bring in the characters, as she's approached by 2 selectors before the episode's already over. The first was a really eerie girl with glasses, and the second is our first male selector, and he's the typical scumbag. He treats his cards like crap. He picks on the weak. However, once we get into the battle, our main character Suzu was victorious after getting a pep talk from Riru that she can do it, because she's very reluctant about playing the game. She just wants to play the game, have fun. She don't want to be in this world, but of course we see that she's backed into the corner, and things are going to pick up really quick, because it's going to get to that point where someone's desperate to win or don't want to lose that last coin. We can definitely see things hitting the fan there. This was a very strong start, and it's kind of jumbled right now, especially coming fresh off of watching that movie. My brain is already confused about what's going on. But something that I really would like to know about this series itself is, where does it take place inside the Recross universe? Because there's some interesting things there. And again, I'm probably not the best person to break this down, but I believe like when they showed the opening, it looks like one of the selectors or one of the Larigs, because you know all of the Larigs got turned back to human beings at the end of the series. It looks like one of those are still around and will be involved in this series. Also, when both Chinasu and Suzu was talking to their Larigs, it looked like they were in the same room that Mayu was in near the end of the series. And there was also like looks like it was a destroyed battlefield. And that's another thing that I want to get on. The animation on this episode was very clean. I mean, oh my god, it was beautiful. From like when the trains were going by to when they were actually in the battlefield doing the cards. It really gave off that Madoka Magica vibe. And it just looked beautiful. I mean, props to JC staff for going in with this animation and everything. And it's getting late, so if I'm rambling a little bit, I'm sorry about that. But at the same time, this series just has so much to take in that I might have to watch it again, because I felt that I really did miss something. I also like how the game was a little bit more explained as Suzu was going against her adversary in this episode, to both refresh and let you know about some of the new things that are going on, like being able to use one of your coins to grow your Larig even stronger. But what I'm really interested in is that we now know that both of these friends are in this competition. So what we know that if you lose, you wipe away from resistance. But what do you do when you win? And also, what's going to happen when these two have to fight each other? That's going to be interesting indeed. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. If you like this video, and I hope I didn't butcher it too much, go ahead and drop it a like. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because there's now a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. And be here tomorrow as I go ahead and review Occultic 9, as well as Magical Girl Raisin Project. So we got Recross and Magical Girl in the same season. So that's your darkness for these pretty girls. So that's going to be exciting indeed. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.